Inayah, Life After God's Guide, Beginner's Guide. What we gonna cover in this guide? Tips and tricks, what you should do and in what order, as well as full leveling system and how you should make progress in the game, as well as some platforming tips and what you should do from start to finish. So let's not waste time, let's go. First things first, Inayah consists out of the 3 difficulties plus the custom difficulty. What I advise the adventure mod for most of the players, because this is one extremely brutal game on the challenges difficulty. I finished the game on the hardest difficulty available, and you need to be very experienced in Metroidvanias in order to play this. So if you're capable of finishing Aeterna Noctis, for example, on the hardest difficulty, then you're quite ready to play Inayah on the hardest difficulty. Bosses are extremely tough, platforming is extremely tough in this game, so that's why I say for the beginners, adventure or story mod is the way to go. I created this guide for the challenges difficulty, or better to say for the hardest difficulty available, so if it works for me on this difficulty, it will work for all other difficulties as well. I'll try to give the minimum amount of spoilers when I'm explaining how you should do the map from the start, because this is very important so you don't mess up things. There's a lot of backtracking. This is the world map. Now, you gotta pay attention on one thing. The game consists out of 3 acts. You need to finish Act 1. That's your primary objective. Why do I say so? Because after you're done with Act 1, when the achievement pops, so pay attention here. When the achievement pops that you completed Act 1, this is the most important achievement in the game, and that's how it is. So once Act 2 starts, you need to receive this achievement, and then you're good to go and start backtracking. Now, why do I say so? Here, this area on the map is where Act 1 ends. Once Act 1 ends, then all of the NPCs will be in the hideout. This is extremely important because you're gonna receive all the quests in the hideout. You don't receive them during Act 1. You receive most of the quests at the start of Act 2. What it means? It means you're gonna backtrack less. So stick to the main objective in Act 1. First reason, you get all the cool abilities like double jump and so on, everything that you need to backtrack. You get weapons and so on. Okay, so that's the first reason. The second reason are the NPCs that gonna give you quests at the Act 2, and the third reason, you don't backtrack from the start, you don't explore from the start of the game, you start exploring, backtracking and going for secret hidden doors and so on once Act 2 starts. This is the most important advice in the game. Do not mess up like I did and roam around, because basically I finished the entire map, everything that was available, and then I did Act 1. I finished Act 1, and then I received quests and I had to backtrack the entire map. Don't do it. Finish the main quest until you see the achievement and you're good to go. Then you can start backtracking. It's by far the most important advice that I can give for the game. Now let's check the leveling system. In this game you will have fists, swords and flail. Swords, extremely fast attacks. Fists, something in between flail and sword, and flail, huge, slow, heavy crits. Those are the builds that you can play in the game. What is the best one by far, and how did I finish the game in, or should I say on, the hardest difficulty available? I finished it with blades, okay, because they just deal a lot of damage and you're mobile. Does it mean that you can also play with fists and with flail? Yeah, but I do recommend playing with blades, because then the game feels more like Hollow Knight or Aeterna Noctis. Fists, you're immobile, you sit in one spot and hit, you can get hit easily. Flail takes forever to swing and you can get hit easily. Only weapon that gives you agility, mobility and huge damage would be blades. Fists and flail are there more for platforming parts and to open up hidden passages, doors and so on, which I'll explain later on. So when we start leveling up, we want to level blades. How do we level blades? The first level that you're gonna get on blades is all that you can see on the skill tree over here. This is extremely important. Like you see it here, that's how you should level up in order. Your main goal is to increase critical hit chance and critical hit damage and reach the smaller nodes, okay? Because they give passive health, passive damage reduction, like here, okay, reduce damage taken, and they can also give you crits and flat damage. So you wanna reach mini nodes as fast as you can. That's how you become stronger. Your skill tree for the blades should look like this as far as the blades go. So now when we start leveling up blades, the very first thing that you wanna take is Dance of Blades. Why? It's a dash attack. Classic dash attack, extremely useful. And then we wanna upgrade Blade Dance to the max until we can reach all the small nodes. This is the biggest and easiest upgrade in the early game. Once you're done with the Blade Dance, then you're gonna transfer to the Lethality and you're gonna go with a small health node, as well as maxing out Backstab for 100% additional critical damage when hitting enemies from behind. This is a huge damage boost. Then we're gonna go to the left and we're gonna go down left, where we're gonna upgrade the Master of Blade attacks to deal increased damage as much as we got Zeal. Okay, the more Zeal points, the bigger the damage, yeah. Then we're gonna go up left and we're gonna upgrade the Battle Master, as well as taking the small nodes. At the end we're gonna finish down with Acrobat, okay? When jumping we receive extra damage all the way down to the Agility. Once we're done with the blades part, we're gonna upgrade the Flurry of Blows. The very first we're gonna take is the Find Weakness. Every third attack will increase damage of crits. Then we're gonna go up, we're gonna take Nanites, and this is the build for the hardest difficulty. Damage over time will be Nanites. It acts like poison basically, deals damage over time to enemies, yeah. So we upgrade Nanites to the max on the left side and we take the small nodes and we max out Nanites. It's extremely important. This is the boss killer build, basically. That's how I finish the game. After the Flurry of Blows we go to Slash and we're gonna take 1000 cuts to increase our attacks even further, to increase damage, okay? As far as parry goes, we leave it for the last. We're gonna skip. Now we're gonna upgrade Chakrams, okay? And what we're gonna use in Chakrams: first we're gonna opt in for the critical Chakram, go straight for the large health node. Then we're gonna go down and we're gonna go for the small health node. And we also upgrade the Nanite Chakram, which merges extremely well with our Nanites build. After we're done with Chakrams, we're gonna take Juggernaut. We increase the ulti time with Juggernaut, as well as going here for the full large health node. And we also receive this node once we do all of that. So once Juggernaut is done, then we go to parry, and in the parry we're gonna go up for the small health node towards the right. So how do we play with blades? Very simple. Base attacks, you wanna strike enemies from behind, dashing through them and hitting them from behind. Once you have enough zeal, you can trigger ulti, okay, on the right stick, or you can just throw in chakrams, get behind enemies and again hit them from behind. That's very simple. So flat attacks with the blades and you're good to go. You deal a lot of damage because of nanites. Alright. Do not forget to jump attack as well from time to time. Flat jump attack to increase damage even further, and then do the combo with dash, strike from behind, dash again, strike from behind. That's about it with blades. So once we're done with blade upgrades, in the mid and late game we're gonna upgrade flail. We're gonna go, as far as flail goes, towards the reduce damage taken by 5% small node. All we want now are small nodes from both fists and flail. So pay attention, we're going for the small nodes. Here we're taking reduced damage taken. In Smash we're going left and right towards the small nodes, increase damage dealt, raise HP. On the right we're going with critical damage, we're going with damage dealt, and of course we're going in with health. For the pool we're gonna take the focus charge. For the magnetism we're gonna skip. Charge strike, we're going again for the small health node, raise overall HP. Restore impulse, we don't touch. Now we go to the fists. For the fists we skip the first part, we go to the flaming fists because they offer a lot of small nodes, and we're gonna take increased criticals, we're gonna take increased damage dealt, and of course all the way down we're taking increased health, again flat, and all the way to the left, down left again, we're taking a large health node. We want health as much as we can get. For the grapple, we're gonna take grapple reduce damage taken by 10% until you die. For the barrier, we're gonna skip, and now with the explosive wave, we go to the right, and we're taking, of course, reduce damage taken, increase damage dealt small node, and here we're taking increased damage dealt by 5, as well as flat health increase. As far as the veil goes, we don't upgrade a thing, and that's how we finish up the build. So we max out blades, and we take small nodes from fists and from flail, basically to receive less damage and to have bigger health pool. Your main damage output would be blades. Now, as far as injector goes, it's very simple. Frost Bloom is one of the best injectors because it gives you maximum charges by +3. What it means, upper left corner, 5 green cells, call it how you like, you can heal 5 times instead of 2. It's important because you can heal a lot, yeah, and this is one of the most important injectors that you can get. Now, what about other injectors if you don't want to play with all of that healing, if you want to heal only twice? So instead of a Frost Bloom, if we play Nanites build, there is one extremely strong injector, and that would be Black Blood, that increase nanite damage by 500% for 15 seconds. This is the boss killer injector. There is no better injector for the build that I gave. Damage is nuts. I mean 500% more damage, man. So Black Blood, you can consider taking it for the boss fights. Also, if you have passive healing nodes, then you can go with the Battleware to increase damage by 25, but you can only heal once. So pay attention on this one, and what you're doing, it requires specific builds. Spirit Dance is absolutely nuts because it increases a flat damage by 100% for 15 seconds, but we need to switch the build in blades. Instead of Nanites build here with a flurry of blows, we need to go with a critical thinking, and so we delete the entire upper left part if you want to play with that injector. We delete Nanites and we go left, okay, towards critical hits, and then you can play with the injector that gives you 100% bigger damage for 15 seconds. You're gonna hit harder, but you won't have nanites. Parry injector is complete crap. Dark Radiance is great if you wanna hit enemies with a flail, because it gives 250% more damage to 9 next attacks. Very tough to trigger this one. It's great, you can one-shot everything, but have in mind it's very hard to play with this injector. Anyways, my personal favorite would be Black Blood, 500% in nanites on this build. Until you get Black Blood, you're gonna play with Frost Bloom for the increased healing charges. And now for the last, we got implants. Why did I say stick to the main quest? Because main quest unlocks implants slots. Okay, once you have all 6 slots available, then it's gonna be great, you're gonna be extremely strong. You start the game with only 1 slot. So what are the best implants in the game? These would be the implants how I finished the game, what I was using to finish the game. I was using pain suppression for the post-hit invulnerability by 300%. When someone whacks you, you remain invulnerable for longer, you got time to recover, yeah. Bosses tend to have combo attacks, and this saves you from getting one-shotted, extremely important. For the next one, I was using synthetic support with all health restoration effects increased by 20%. For the next one, I was using a dense bone marrow. For the, if health is above 50%, you critical is 50% higher, or should I say you crit non-stop whenever your health bar is above 50%. Extremely good node. Probably the best one as far as implants go would be the dense bone marrow. For the next one, I was using reinforced tendons. Dodge transformed into a dash, so we can dash mid-air, we can dash double jump, it gives you extra mobility. You can't play without it, okay? That's the most important implant. There is no playing without that implant. After the dash, we're gonna take additional jump mid-air. It gives you double jump. You can reach basically everything that exists in a game with a double jump and dash in the air. And for the final implant that I was using, it was epimorphic enhancement to basically recover health after taking damage with counter attacks. So this is like a flare up mobility healing build. Implants nanites, damage over time, huge crits, extra mobility, agile build for Inayah. It's completely valid on the hardest difficulty. I really had no issues with the game, and that's how the build looks like. What about the other implants though? What are the good implants? System amplifier, flat increased damage dealt is very good. Some bosses tend to have environmental hazards and spikes, and fortitude, for example against Butcher, will save you so you don't get one shot. Or the Blades build that I gave, also very valid, is of course Specialization Sword, which increases Blades damage by 25%, also good one to have until you find all the nodes, all the implants that I gave in my build here. All of these three are completely valid and you can consider taking them. Bioconductor will make you tankier as well. You're gonna get it early on in the game. Now, when you really wanna kill the boss extremely fast, when you get the Injector for nanites, and when you find Pierce implant, those two combine extremely well, so your nanites are gonna be nuts, because this raises the maximum stacks of nanites, hence you will deal extreme amount of damage with this implant. So Pierce is one of the best implants that you can get on a build that I gave here, if you wanna one-shot bosses. And for the final great implant, we have Shell Classic, 15% less damage taken from enemies, from bosses, from everything. Basically, you can also play with this one. But the 6 that I gave are definitely the best combo that you can get, because it offers the best balance from damage and survivability that you can get out of Inayah. The final tip I'm gonna give is platforming and movement. It's extremely important that you realize that you can traverse a lot of areas by double jumping and then striking upwards. It propels you further, and that way you can reach a lot of areas in the game. So have in mind double jump and this. That's the first advice. The next advice is double jump, hit with a sword up, and transfer to fists, and then propel. How do we do it? 1, 2, and propel. You traverse even further. It takes time, you need to practice, but that's how the game is. So double jump and propel. It's gonna be pretty much mandatory for those that play on the hardest difficulty, okay? Because on the easier difficulties, instead of a double jump, you're gonna have a triple jump. I don't have it on this difficulty, but you will if you play on easier difficulties. Now, what counts as a triple jump is the propel. Okay, fists, and then you propel further. Now, of course, you can also use it on an easier difficulties where you're gonna be able to triple jump and then propel again, and then dash, so you can basically cover 2 screens of height in any area in the game, so you can reach further. The most important thing for you is to remain on the main quest non-stop until you see the achievement for Act 1. Once that happens, you're good to go and you can start backtracking. As far as backtracking goes, it won't be in this video. I'll record a separate video for the entire world map where we're gonna visit all of these maps, and I'll tell you what to do in order. You can check the full guide in the next video, and for this one, that would be it. If you find the video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.